First of all, a man senses through his power while keeping his hand on the locker. Then he unlocks that locker within 30 seconds. How did he do it? Now the flashback is shown, where a man C. Poston comes on the scene who is recording his video in laptop. He declares in it that I am going to tell a true story to all of you today. There was a man who used to work to make the lockers, but his whole family died. Afterwards, he made 4 such lockers, which were called the hardest lockers of the world, because no one was able to unlock those lockers. That man was very sad, losing his family, so he locks himself in a locker, and many people struggled to unlock that locker, but no one succeeded, so that man also died in the same locker. In the end, the locker was floated in the water, taking it as a coffin of that man. But those 3 lockers were still remained. Where are those lockers? Who possessed it? No one knows about it. Telling this story, Sebastian completes his video. After it, he uploads it on YouTube. After this, he unlocks his kept locker aside within a few seconds while closing eyes. Actually, he was studying to unlock the hard lockers. And he had also succeeded to unlock the hard lockers to a great extent. There were neither views nor likes on the video of Sebastian. Due to this, he had also started to be upset. After this, Sebastian moves to a bank where he used to serve. Then a lady is saying to him while shouting, "I visit here daily but my work is still pending here. But it should be accomplished today." Then Sebastian comes to know by news that zombie virus is going viral everywhere throughout the city, which has infected a number of people. Now that girl had also started to appear to Sebastian like a zombie, so he hands over her the check in fear. That lady departs from here after the work. It is noticed here that a girl is keeping an eye on Sebastian. When Sebastian is in the bank, he again checks his YouTube channel. There was also 1 view and 1 comment. It was commented, "If you want to display your talent, come to the given address." Reaching there, speak out the password. Seeing it, Sebastian is very excited. Reaching there, he reveals the password to the guard. Then guard takes him inside, knowing the password. There was going on a competition there. Who will unlock the locker at first, then he will be called winner. It means that he will win. After this, the first round is started. All people unlock their lockers. C. Poston takes the 4th position in this. After this, there is a round of semi-final. There were 4 participants, and 2 participants will be able to participate in the final. And C. Poston takes 2nd position in the semi-final. The spectators were also betting on the players. The final round is started exactly after this, in which 3 minutes were required to unlock the hard locker. Another participant begins to unlock the locker with the starting of time. But C. Poston was standing motionless. It means that he was not unlocking the locker. He was rather observing the things in surroundings. When 30 seconds are left, first of all, he senses the locker by keeping his hand on it. Then he has succeeded to unlock that locker within a few seconds. Observing it, all people are left astonished. But his competitor is flown into rage. As he comes to hit C. Poston, then guard gets him out while capturing. Then he views a girl named Gwendolyn. When C. Poston sees her, then he likes her. Actually, Gwendolyn is a thief. And she is the same girl, who is also keeping an eye on C. Poston in the bank. Reaching at home, C. Poston keeps that awarded trophy near the photo frame of his parents. Next day, when C. Poston is taking coffee in a restaurant, at the same time, Gwendolyn appears from the backside before C. Poston, and C. Poston's coffee is dropped on him because of her sudden arrival. But C. Poston is excited, witnessing her there. Gwendolyn says to C. Poston, "I had commented you, so that I may know about your talent." She also reveals to him that, "I am wanted. The police of many countries are after me to seize." Hearing it, C. Poston is little afraid. Then Gwendolyn says, "I have a little task for you. We will steal internationally, in which we have to unlock those 3 lockers made by that old man. That old man which had also been seen at the start of the movie. The man who had made those hard lockers." Gwendolyn tells that there is a lot of money in those lockers. Hearing it, C. Poston is very excited, because he had always wished to unlock those hard lockers. And Gwendolyn tells that we have also other members. and we all will thieve together. After this, she leaves, handing him over her visiting card. C. Poston continues to think for a long time after coming to house. Then he consents to assist Gwendolyn. Next day, he moves to the house of Gwendolyn, where he introduces him with other gang members. There was a girl named Coroner who was a hacker. The second one was an expert driver, and third one was strong because he was muscular man. Then C. Poston asks, will we all 5 thieve? And we will be hidden somewhere else. Then Gwendolyn says on it, yes. There is a same plan. C. Poston says, it cannot be acted because the police will begin to suspect us in such a way. Gwendolyn informs, we are the crew of 5, so police are not going to suspect us soon. Now Coroner tells everyone about those 3 of lockers. The first locker is in Paris, which is easiest to unlock, because there is not strict security. The second locker is in Prague, which is harder to unlock. And third locker is in Switzerland, which is hardest to unlock. And there are at least $100 million. Then Coroner also tells about that man, who was the owner of 3 of lockers. Afterwards, they go to Paris after getting ready, where all send C. Poston to the bank, making him explain the bank's details. After it, C. Poston enters the bank where he was so nervous, he hides himself in the lavatory according to the plan. After this, Gwendolyn arrives there, who grabs the key of guard while making him to catch her luggage. Coming inside, she asks the receptionist to go to her locker. That locker who had been made her on the fake name. Then she leaves Gwendolyn near the location of the locker. After this, Coroner enters, who says counter people while diverting their attention. I have lost my credit card. Contrarily, she brings C. Poston into that locker after releasing him out of lavatory through lift. Witnessing her, C. Poston is extremely excited. And he begins to tell his locker's story to Gwendolyn. Then Gwendolyn requests him, unlock the lock first. After it, C. Poston tries to unlock a locker while playing music. There were 3 locks in this lockers. And he is able to unlock the first lock, hearing it. Then he opens the door of the locker after unlocking the locker. They are excited, viewing a lot of money in it, because they succeeded to open that first locker of man. Then they begin to fill the bags with the money of the locker. Gwendolyn says to him, just wait and watch. It is just the beginning. There are still 2 remaining locks. There is more money in other lockers. After their work, that muscular man comes inside. He distracts the other people. Getting a chance, C. Poston and Gwendolyn come out. Coming outside, they get in the van and they leave that place. And they are also excited. Officer comes to know about the theft of them, because Gwendolyn and that muscular man were recorded through the CCTV cameras. Then that senior officer tells the other officers that they also had thieved before 5 years. When I was nearly to catch them before 5 years, then they escaped. I think that there is one more member in their gang. And I think that they are going to escape after this. So they steal the money of other people. But I am not going to leave them. They are celebrating after thieving the first locker. After this, C. Poston comes to Gwendolyn's room, where Gwendolyn tells about her that my parents were so aristocratic. But their attention was not at me at all. I met them from that time and became a thief. Now that Muscular was feeling envious because of their conversation with each other. Because he used to like Gwendolyn. Next day, they go to Prague. And they come before that bank where another locker was inside. Coroner tells here that this bank is so technological. So we will have to be careful too much. Hearing it, C. Poston is little afraid. On the other side, another senior officer was also keeping an eye on the bank. So he may capture them as they come to steal. On the other side, Gwendolyn encourages C. Poston, explaining him. After this, C. Poston goes inside the bank, where he moves forward with the fake identity given by Coroner. Coroner was also instructing him. C. Poston notices 2 doors as he moves forward. He moves to the left-sided door, and he goes near that locker through an elevator. But the observer guards of CCTV cameras begin to suspect him, because he did not come after entering through the door. Afterwards, C. Poston comes near a locked door. Coroner asks him to pretend to move his finger like a key, so no one may suspect them. At that time, Coronel unlocks the door while hacking. After this, Gwendoline meets with C. Poston. Then they both begin to come near the locker through the elevator. At the same time, guards attack the May, appearing there. But Gwendoline makes the guards unconscious through her power. C. Poston is very shocked, seeing the boldness of Gwendoline. Guards also come to know through CCTV cameras that door's lock has been unlocked after hacking. So they close all the doors. So Coroner asks that muscular man to use the second plan. At that time, that muscular man enters the band, masking himself. And he threatens the receptionist to fill the bag with all money, pointing gun and asking everyone to stand aside. So he distracts everyone. On the other side, that officer does not find something wrong anywhere. So he suspects that there is going something wrong somewhere. So he enters that bank along with his officers, where he comes to know that locker has been shifted to somewhere else. Hearing it, that officer is got furious. So he goes away with his officer to that branch. Contrarily, when C. Poston is unlocking the other locker, there has gone something wrong. Due to this, all other locks are also pressed. Then C. Poston declares to Gwendoline, this locker will be locked permanently if any blunder commits. Afterwards, he again tries to unlock the locker. Fortunately, he unlocks 3 of the locks one by one. At last, that locker's door is also unlocked. Witnessing it, they all are excited. Contrarily, Coroner says to her partner Muscular, our mission has accomplished. You may come now. At that time, guards appear there to capture Muscular, and he receives a gunshot on his shoulder while escaping. So he directly comes to van while jumping through the window. The people also begin to leave the bank when that muscular man comes out of the bank. Getting a chance, C. Poston and Gwendoline also come out of the bank. And they begin to run to van. Then C. Poston puts his bag in the van. First of all, that muscular makes Gwendoline sit in the van. When he begins to make C. Poston sit inside, then he thinks he will snatch Gwendoline if he stayed with us. So he throws him out of the van in aggression. Seeing it, all are shocked. But that van had also driven from there at that time. Police starts to chase C. Poston unluckily. So he begins to run away, stealing a bicycle from there. After this, that officer also reaches to that bank, where he comes to know that locker has also been thieved. And there is also no evidence on CCTV. It is empty. Hearing it, that officer loses his temper. On the other side, C. Poston gets in a train while diverting police's attention. Contrarily, Gwendoline asks that muscular man, why did you act as such? Why did you throw C. Poston out of the van? Muscular man says on it that we could be entrapped if I did not do this. Otherwise, we don't feel the need of C. Poston because we have got a lot of money that, now there is no need to steal the money for us. Gwendoline clears that I am not on this mission for the money. Being infuriated, she leaves the van. Coroner also becomes her partner, seeing her depart. Muscular man says to them, seeing them, go away all of you. I don't need of you. On the other side, C. Poston comes to his house, where Gwendoline and Coroner are already there. And they make C. Poston afraid while surprising him. C. Poston says to them in fury, what are you doing here? Go away. Then Gwendoline explains to him that, our partner that muscular man wanted to be on this mission for money. I am not doing it for money. I am rather doing it to make my name in history. And we cannot unlock the third locker except you. Then C. Poston says after being agreed with them, that I am also willing to end my excitement after unlocking it. Hearing it, they both begin to laugh. On the other side, they get a video of C. Poston on YouTube. So he says after calling his assistant that they have hired this girl for this to unlock this locker. But he is an ordinary man and there is not his criminal record. And they throw him out of the van after the accomplishment of their work. Now he was perhaps most fearful. And we may catch him now. And we may catch others. In this way, we may the intention of their mastermind. Contrarily, they go for the third locker to Switzerland, where that officer is standing out of the gambling club. Because third locker in this gambling club. At the same time, an officer gets the signal by coroner, who says that we will move in the gambling club at 5 o'clock. So that officer waits when the clock strikes 5. As the clock strikes 5, then he says to the manager, coming to the gambling club, that Locker is in danger. Manager says on it that, "We know. It was you who told us." Hearing it, that officer is surprised. That Manger tells them that we had received a call on your part before 8 hours. That Locker is going to be grabbed. So we have shifted that Locker into another branch. After this, the movie moves to the time 8 hours ago, where Coroner had said while calling to the manager, that Locker is going to be grabbed. Then manager called the guards, so that she may shift the Locker into another branch. But the van in which those guards are present, Gwendolyn gets in that van. And she makes both guards senseless while hitting. After this, C. Poston and she come to that gambling club, wearing the guard's uniform. And they begin to drive off, keeping the Locker in the car. After it, the movie turns to the present scene where that officer is again provoked. And he moves away along with his officers for their search. On the other side, that muscular man and his companion are also present out of the gambling club, who had come to take their share after stealing the other lockers. At the same time, he knows the location of Gwendolyn. That he is not here. On the other side, it is also known by Coroner that their partner muscular man is turning to Gwendolyn, because she was near that gambling club at the time. So Coroner is coming to her companion to stop him. But his both companions muscular men escape from there till that time. Unfortunately, that officer catches Coroner. But she tells Gwendolyn on the exact time that, "Muscular man and our partner are also coming after you." Coroner breaks her mobile after sending the message. That officer asks him while pushing, "Tell me, where are your other companions?" Then his assistant asks Coroner, stopping her, "We promise in return that we will always take care of your brother." Actually, Coroner has much affections for her brother. There will be no one to take care of her brother after her if she is imprisoned. So she accepts their offer, then she brings Gwendolyn to them. On the other side, Gwendolyn is driving the car and C. Poston is trying to unlock the locker after this. This locker was difficult to unlock because it has 7 locks on it. After this, C. Poston plays the music and tries to unlock those locks, from which he is able to open the 6 locks. Suddenly, a turn appears on the way and Gwendolyn turns the car forcefully. As a result, C. Poston falls down, but he has succeeded to unlock the 7th lock after a struggle. He becomes successful to open the lock after unlocking all locks. They are extremely excited on it that they find no way for this, because they had succeeded to unlock the 3 lockers. After this, they begin to fill the bag with money while stopping car at a spot. Then that muscular man and that driver reach there to take their share. The muscular man asks money from them, pointing gun at them. But Gwendolyn directly refuses it, so he fires his gun at C. Poston. But he had not a single bullet in his gun. After this, Gwendolyn says to him while pointing gun at him, "I had already no trust in you, so I did not load your gun with bullets." After this, she ties both of them with a car. And she drives off, taking their car. The officer also approaches there after their departure. And he catches the muscular man and their driver. On the other side, C. Poston and Gwendolyn reach to the boat while running. That officer also reaches there before they run from there, who ask them to surrender yourself, pointing gun at them. But Gwendolyn also points gun at him. And he tries to lure that officer, creating a greed of money. Then that officer says, while forbidding to accept this offer, that, "I have been chasing all of you to seize you for the last 5 years. So it will be my great victory to seize you." So Gwendolyn says to him, finding no way, that, "Okay, I surrender myself to you. But you will have to leave C. Poston because he is innocent. He is not a criminal." Then that officer agrees with Gwendolyn. But C. Poston forbids to go while leaving Gwendolyn alone here. Then Gwendolyn explains to him, "Go away right now, and I will directly come to you after coming from here." Being convinced, C. Poston goes away after getting in the boat. On the other side, that officer seizes Gwendolyn. C. Poston also gets his passport. Gwendolyn had made the separate passport for each. Then C. Poston begins to remind all the spent moments with Gwendolyn, seeing it. After this, the scene turns from here and California scene is shown here, where C. Poston had inaugurated a store named Gwendolyn Sales. Meanwhile, two persons come to meet C. Poston. They have also a map of locker. They ask C. Poston that, "Can you unlock this locker?" C. Poston tells happily, seeing them, "Yes, I can unlock it." The movie completes on this scene with this mysterious ending. Thanks for watching.